Jai Shri Ram. Krishna's life was first narrated by Shuka Maharshi to Parikshit. Krishna's life was first narrated by Shuka Maharshi to Parikshit. Shuka Maharshi learnt it from Vyasa because Vyasa's disciples are Paila, who was taught Rigveda, then Vaishampayana, Yajurveda, Jaimini, Samaveda, Sumantu, Atharvana Veda, and Shuka was taught everything actually because Shuka was Vyasa's son. But mainly Shuka mastered the Bhagavatam, and then Romaharshana or Lomaharshana was also the disciple of Vyasa. So broadly they were six. So Lomaharshana or Romaharshana, because he was known by both names. Both names basically mean one who is such a good storyteller, kathavachak, raconteur, that you will be thrilled. The listener will be thrilled. He will experience goosebumps, horripilation. So Roma Harshana was also, Roma Harshana or Loma Harshana was taught all the Puranas. So Roma Harshana's son was Ugrashrava, who was also known as a Suta. Suta is a caste actually. Suta is Pratiloma. Pratiloma marriage according to the categorization, which means the mother is a Brahmin and the father is a Kshatriya. Karna was also a Suta. Now, Suta means a person who is an expert in chariot riding, who is a charioteer, and who could be also a Kathavachak, raconteur. So, these two were broadly the functions or professions they used to pursue. Now, of course, please remember, there is no rigidity in the Jati, Kula, Varna, Gotra system. Varna, the word Varna means to choose. So, in a family of 4 children, all the 4 can choose different professions based on their temperaments. One child could have a Brahmin temperament, the other could have a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So, based on their temperament, they can choose their professions. There is no rigidity. Please remember that. And remember also that we don't have any caste system. The word caste does not exist anywhere in the Vedas or the Gita. It's a Portuguese word. So we never had any caste system. But the English rubbed it onto us. Lord Risley was the scoundrel who used this word caste for the first time, and we have now accepted it. Stop using the word caste. Start using the word Jati, Kula, Varna, Gotra. Jati is your bloodline. Jati is the pedigree, the bloodline, family tree. Kula means the family profession. Again, this family profession need not be taken up by every child, because the child's Varna could be different. Varna, psychological temperament. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya. These are temperaments like MBTI, Myers-Briggs Typology Inventory, Keirsey typology. Now, these are 2 famous names in the world of psychology. Keirsey is the name of a psychologist. Keirsey temperament sorter. You can go to Google and you will get a free test. You can do that, or you can ask me. When you meet me, I'll scan and post the copy to you. It's a small test. After you take it, you will know what are the 4 letters that describe your temperament. This MBTI, mother and daughter pair of psychologists who were not actually qualified, have become famous for their MBTI, Myers-Briggs Typology Inventory. Now, the word typology basically means a classification of personalities. Like, for example, in Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, we have this temperament classification of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, and Vaishya. And within these 4 broad categories, there can be infinite number of combinations. And that is how different, kulas were born. Okay. So, now, so Jati, Kula, Varna and Gotra. Gotra is descent from a common male ancestor. which is very scientific. When you get married, you should not, when you're going to get married, don't choose a girl of the same gotra. Sagotra marriages are forbidden for the simple reason that recessive genes will get together and children born will suffer from congenital diseases, because the recessive genes will manifest a disease that is there. Right. So our Hindu system is based on eugenics, EUGENICS, which means the science of selective breeding to improve the quality of the race. Unfortunately, in the desert cults, I don't have to name them, you know who I am referring to. These idiots marry their first cousins and their sisters also. So they suffer from dysgenics. Their system is dysgenic, DYSGENIC. Dysgenic is bad breeding. As a result, the children born suffer from all kinds of diseases. In UK, Birmingham is a city which is full of these Pakistani immigrants who all marry their first cousins. And 60% of their population are born with serious Down syndrome and other mental retardation. Their hospitals are full, and these rascals, these idiots, are providing specimens for the British doctors to do research on. So that is how they are contributing to the welfare of the world by producing children who are mentally retarded. It's a very poignant spectacle. It's so painful to see the child suffering. But these rascals, they will continue marrying their sisters. So this is dysgenics. Ours is eugenics. Okay. So atta కూతుర్ని పెళ్లి చేసుకోకూడదు. Okay. Because Y chromosome comes from the male. Female has only X chromosomes. The function of the Y chromosome is a topic of great research. I don't know much about it, but I'm certain scientists are still not fully aware of what's the function of the Y chromosome. That is why Sagotra marriages are forbidden, because Sagotra marriage would amount to marrying your own sister. Consanguinity is a very important concept. Descent from a common male ancestor. Jati, Kula, Varna and Gotra. No caste. Don't use the word caste. And when anybody uses the word caste, give them this lecture on Jati, Kula, Varna, Gotra. So our discussion started with Krishna's life being first narrated by Shuka Maharshi to Parikshit. Parikshit is the grandson of Abhimanyu, who was cursed to die within 7 days because he flung a dead snake onto the neck of a rishi who was in dhyana. Parikshit went hunting. He should not have. Hunting is forbidden in the Vedas. Killing animals is forbidden. But Dasharatha made the same mistake because, there is a streak of arrogance in even the greatest of characters you will find in our Itihasas and Puranas. Hunting is forbidden. Killing animals is forbidden. And some idiots try to provide this explanation, rationalization that by hunting a king will be able to develop his abilities to fight in a battle. As if there is no other option. As if you can't use your brain imaginatively to create other scenarios where you can fight. Are boxers killing other boxers in order to be able to win the boxing tournaments? Do wrestlers have to kill somebody in order to become better wrestlers? This stupid rationalization is being given by some people of some cults within Hinduism, mind you. There are many cults even within Hinduism. Now please remember, the word cult is an extremely negative word. Cult has several characteristics. A cult is a secret group of people with a charismatic leader and initiation rites. Of course, the two major cults in the world, they are no longer secret. And we know what kind of danger and chaos and devastation over the last 2000 years these two cults have spread across the world. So in the Ramayana, you have the case of Dasharatha going hunting and killing who's that character? So Dasharatha killed Shravana Kumar. And the rest of the story we all know. The parents curse him. The parents were blind and Shravana Kumar was a dedicated son. This Dasharatha mistook Shravana Kumar for a deer and shot him dead and suffered the consequences. So Parikshit also did the same mistake, went hunting, and then he flung a snake onto the neck. So Parikshit committed the same mistake. Parikshit went hunting and flung a dead snake onto the neck of Shamik Rishi. Shamik. In English, the spelling would be Shamik. Shamik Rishi was in meditation, and Parikshit incidentally was a very noble man But why did this anger overtake him? Incidentally, when Parikshit went hunting, he went hunting because he wore a particular crown in the treasury, which actually belonged to Jarasandha. Jarasanda's crown. Bhima killed Jarasandha. Jarasandha's gold studded and diamond studded crown was so attractive. Parikshit wore that and went hunting. So the moment he wore that, he started having evil, negative ideas. Went hunting, and he was very tired. He wanted water. There he found this rishi sitting, Shamik. His name was Shamik. He asked him for water. The rishi did not budge. Now the effect of the crown was such. You must draw your own inferences. You see, negative people, negative things, everything affects everything in Newton's law. Okay, Parikshit lost his cool and he thought the rishi was being arrogant when actually the rishi was observing Maunarata and he was in deep dhyana, so he could not even hear what Parikshit asked. So, for no fault of the rishi, Parikshit picked up a dead snake and put it around this man's neck and went away. Later, that man's son, I think Shamik's son was Shringi Rishi. That man's son came. He noticed, he came to know, and then he cursed Parikshit. Whoever had put this will die within 7 days. Now, the news reached Parikshit that he is now cursed. So, curses by rishis won't go in vain. So, Parikshit went and talked to Narada. What to do? Narada said, go to Shuka Maharshi. So Shuka Maharshi asked him, how are you related to Krishna? Parikshit told him that Krishna is my Sahodara. So Parikshit told Narada that he is a blood brother, uterine brother of Krishna, Sahodara. Because when Ashwadhama used the Brahmastra to destroy the lineage of Pandavas, Krishna promised that he will protect the lineage. So Krishna got into the womb to protect Parikshit. Krishna never got into any womb. This was the only instance where Krishna got into the womb in order to protect Parikshit. So because he got into the womb, then he becomes the brother, Sahodara of Parikshit. So Shuka Maharshi was very happy, and Parikshit was happily sitting, and Shuka Maharshi narrated the entire Bhagavatam. And of course, after 7 days, Shuka Maharshi asked Parikshit, now have you got over your fear of death? He said yes, and he went into dhyan. Parikshit went into deep dhyana, and he left his mortal coil. And as he was ascending to heaven, Takshaka, who was given this job of biting and killing Parikshit, bit the dead body of Parikshit. And the dead body of Parikshit was turned to ashes because of the venom of Takshaka. Now, Takshaka is a great serpent, and he was the king of all the Nagas and all that. So, Parikshit's son Janamejaya decided to take revenge. Then he started the Sarpasatra, Sarpayaga, to kill and wipe out all the snakes because the king of the snakes killed his father. So when the Sarpasatra was started, all the rishis were chanting, and millions of snakes were falling into the Yajna Kund and dying. Takshaka's turn came up, and Takshaka was terribly scared. He asked Indra to help. Indra said, I cannot. So Takshaka wound himself round Indra's throne, and the power of mantras was such that Indra's throne also started moving towards the Yajna Kunda. So again, Indra panics because his throne is now being dragged into the Yajna Kunda. So Indra requests Narada to do something. Narada goes and talks to Janmeja, tells him that what he is doing is going for an overkill, and which is adharma, and even Parikshit would not approve of something like this. So Janmeja stopped it, and that is how the whole cycle of revenge, all this ended. So Parikshit was a great king, and there is another story connected with Parikshit, as you know. Parikshit, when he was ruling, one day when he went out on a walk or something like that, he noticed a man, a Shudra, who was beating a bull mercilessly. So he got hold of that fellow and asked him what the hell he was doing, why he was beating that innocent animal. Remember, Parikshit is a Sahodara of Krishna, and therefore Kali could not fully enter. So Kali entered the moment Krishna left, but Kali could not fully enter the age because Parikshit, who is a Sahodara of Krishna, is still there. Now Parikshit asked that fellow, Parikshit wanted to kill that rascal for beating the bull so mercilessly. So the Kali then said, listen Parikshit, I am just doing my duty. You see, this is Kali Yuga, and the bull represents Dharma, and the four legs of Dharma are tapas shaucham, daya, satyam. Tapas, shaucham, daya, satyam. And in Kali Yuga only satyam is there, satyam remains. All the other three legs have been broken already. So Parikshit wants to kill this fellow. But that fellow starts begging and pleading. So Parikshit exiles him to four places. He says, you can live in these four places only. Okay, what are the four places? One is a slaughterhouse, a batua, ABBATOIR, slaughterhouse. The next thing is a brothel, a red light district, brothel. And the third thing is a bar, all these pubs and bars. And the fourth thing is the mafia, where gold is stolen or wealth is stolen. And these four places. So Kali resides in four places. And the four places are slaughterhouses and brothels, bars and criminal organizations like the mafia. Okay. So this is about Parikshit. Now getting back to our discussion. Krishna's life was narrated first by Shuka to Parikshit. Okay. And then after Shuka narrated to Parikshit, later on Ugrashrava, who is the son of Romaharshana, he narrated the Bhagavatam to all the rishis in Naimisharanya. So to Shuka to Parikshit and Ugrashrava to rishis. Now briefly, the great miracles and events in Krishna's life start with Krishna and Balarama being invited for the Dhanuryaga by Kamsa, where they kill Chanura Mushtikas. Kuvalaya Pida is also killed, the elephant who represents arrogance, and many other such incidents. And then Putana. Of course, Putana is sent by Kamsa much before all this. So I'll briefly list out all the Asuras Krishna killed. Putana, Trinavarta is the whirlwind, tornado, twister. And Shakatasura is the cartwheel. Kagasura is the crow. Crow. Bakasura is the crane, Bakasura. Aghasura is the python, python. Pralambasura is the forest fire. Pralambasura is the Holocaust, conflagration. Vyomasura is the bat demon. Vyomasura is the bat or demon in the sky. Keshi Nishodhana, Krishna is called. Keshi is a horse. Next, Vatsasura. Vatsasura is the calf demon. Vatsasura. Dhenukasura. So actually Dhenukasura and Vatsasura I think are the same. The calf demon. Dhenukasura, Vatsasura. And then Krishna killed Arishtasura. Arishtasura is the bull. And Panchajanya is the Asura who kidnapped the son of Sandipani. Panchajanyam is the conch shell, you see. So he is an Asura who lived in a conch shell. And then Chanura, Mushtika and Kamsa, Narakasura, Dantavakra and Shishupala. This is the whole list of the main. Even Ekalavya was killed by Krishna. Putana, Trinavarta, Shakatasura, Kagasura, Bakasura, Aghasura, Pralambasura, Vyomasura, Keshi, Vatsasura, Dhenukasura, Arishtasura, Panchajanya, Chanura, Mushtika, Kamsa, Narakasura, Dantavakra, Shishupala. Jai Shri Ram.